Your body might be whispering to you, sending subtle clues that something isn't right. Are you listening? That small, painless lump that seemed to appear from nowhere, it's actually the single most common sign people ignore. You might not know it, but these gentle warnings could be your immune system asking for help. And most people never realize how these simple signs connect until much later. Let's change that together. Silent swelling. Let's talk more about that swelling. Your lymphatic system is your body's quiet protector, a network filtering out threats. When cancer cells start to multiply in this system, the first signal is often a swollen lymph node, usually in the neck, armpit, or groin. What makes this sign so tricky? It's painless. If it were tender and sore, you'd likely get it checked right away. But because there's no pain, it's dangerously easy to brush it off as nothing. These lumps often feel firm or rubbery and can be as small as a pea or grow larger. The swelling happens slowly, so the surrounding tissues adapt without sending pain signals to your brain. This absence of pain is one of the most misleading features of lymphoma. While swollen glands are most often caused by common infections, a persistent, painless lump that doesn't go away for more than a couple of weeks should be a signal to see your doctor. It's the most common starting point on this journey, with many patients first noticing a lump under their skin. Vanishing weight? Have you noticed the numbers on the scale going down even though you haven't changed a thing about your diet or exercise routine? Losing a few pounds might feel like a welcome surprise at first, but when the weight keeps coming off without reason, it becomes a serious red flag. Unexplained weight loss, especially losing more than 10% of your body weight in just 6 months, is a classic B symptom of non Hodgkin lymphoma. This isn't like typical weight loss from dieting. It's a sign that something is using up your body's resources. Here's what's happening. The cancer cells are demanding a huge amount of energy to grow, essentially stealing nutrients from your healthy cells. Your body's metabolism goes into overdrive to keep up. This process often causes you to lose muscle along with fat, leaving you feeling weaker. It happens gradually, but it's relentless. This symptom, often paired with fever and night sweats, tells doctors the disease may be more advanced, which is why paying attention to it is so critical. It's a quiet but significant warning from your body. Phantom fevers. A fever usually means you have a cold or the flu, right? It shows up, you feel unwell for a few days, and then it goes away as you get better. But what if a fever appears and disappears without any clear reason? This is the kind of fever linked to lymphoma. It's like a phantom, spiking unexpectedly, perhaps for days or weeks, vanishing and then returning out of the blue. This on and off pattern makes it incredibly confusing and easy to dismiss. This isn't your typical infection fighting fever. It's caused by your immune system releasing chemicals to fight the cancer cells, which messes with your body's internal thermostat. This type of fever often resists standard fever reducing medicines and can come with chills and a general feeling of being unwell. About a quarter of lymphoma patients experience these puzzling fevers. When a fever has no apparent cause and keeps coming back, especially alongside other signs we're discussing, it warrants an immediate conversation with your doctor. Drenching sweats. Waking up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat is more than just uncomfortable. It can be alarming. We're not talking about sweating a little because the room is too warm. Lymphoma related night sweats are so intense that they can soak through your pajamas and sheets, making you feel as if you just stepped out of a shower. Which these episodes happen regardless of your sleep environment and are a very distinct symptom experienced by about a third of people with fast growing non Hodgkin lymphoma. These sweats are caused by the same inflammatory response that triggers fevers, disrupting your body's ability to regulate its temperature. Unlike hot flashes, these night sweats often follow a cyclical pattern, happening for weeks, disappearing, and then returning with the same intensity. The constant disruption to your sleep also leads to exhaustion and emotional distress, creating a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. The sheer severity of these drenching sweats is what sets them apart. Deep exhaustion. We all feel tired, but the fatigue that comes with lymphoma is in another league entirely. It's a bone deep, persistent exhaustion that sleep and rest just can't fix. Up to 80% of patients report this symptom, making it one of the most common, yet it's often chalked up to stress, aging, or a busy lifestyle. It can creep up on you slowly, so you might not even realize it's happening until simple tasks like walking up the stairs or making a meal feel like they require a monumental effort. This isn't just in your body, it's in your mind too. You might find it hard to concentrate, feel forgetful, or struggle to make decisions, a state often described as mental fog. This profound sense of weariness comes from a few places at once. The cancer cells are using up oxygen and nutrients, and your immune system is working overtime, draining your energy reserves. When fatigue starts to interfere with your daily life and doesn't get better, it's more than just being tired. It's a sign that your body needs attention. Food aversion. What happens when your favorite foods no longer appeal to you, or when the thought or smell of a meal makes you feel queasy? This is another subtle sign that's easy to misunderstand. A loss of appetite with lymphoma isn't just about not feeling hungry, it's a more profound change in your relationship with food. You might feel full after eating just a few bites or develop a complete aversion to things you used to love. This symptom affects a significant number of patients and can appear quite early. There are a few reasons for this. The cancer can release substances that mess with your brain's hunger signals, and if you have enlarged lymph nodes in your abdomen, they can physically press on your stomach, creating a false feeling of fullness. This leads to a difficult cycle. You eat less, which contributes to unexplained weight loss and leaves your body with fewer resources to stay strong and fight. It's not just a physical challenge. Losing the simple joy of a meal can affect your mood and social life too. Belly blues. Sometimes the signs of lymphoma feel like they're just nagging digestive issues. You might experience a persistent, dull ache in your abdomen, notice some swelling, or have a constant feeling of fullness or pressure that you can't quite explain. This can happen when lymphoma affects the lymph nodes, spleen, or liver in your belly, causing them to enlarge. About 1 in 4 patients experiences these symptoms, which can be the first clue that the disease is progressing internally. The discomfort can manifest in different ways. An enlarged spleen might create a sense of fullness on the upper left side of your abdomen, while an enlarged liver could cause discomfort on the right. Unlike typical bloating, this abdominal swelling is persistent and can even make your clothes feel tighter around the waist. The pain tends to be constant and doesn't seem related to what you eat or your bathroom habits. It might even bother you more when you're lying down, making it difficult to get a good night's sleep. Chest pressure? If lymphoma develops in the chest, specifically in the area between the lungs called the mediastinum, it can start to press on vital organs and create some alarming symptoms. You might feel a sense of pressure, fullness, or a dull ache in your chest. Some people describe it as feeling like someone is sitting on their chest, and this occurs in about 20% of patients and signals that swollen lymph nodes are crowding important structures like your windpipe or major blood vessels. This pressure often gets worse when you're lying down flat or when you exert yourself. It's not usually a sharp pain, but a constant heavy sensation. In some cases, this compression can become serious if it blocks a major vein returning blood to the heart, leading to swelling in the face and neck. It's a symptom that should never be ignored, as it points to something happening in a very critical part of your body. Any persistent chest pain or pressure is a reason to seek medical help right away. Breathless feeling. Do you find yourself getting out of breath more easily than you used to? Maybe it's accompanied by a dry, persistent cough that just won't go away no matter what you try. When lymphoma affects the chest area, these respiratory symptoms are common, affecting about 30% of patients. The enlarged lymph nodes can physically press on your airways, making it harder to breathe. The cough associated with this is typically dry and nagging, and you might notice it gets worse at night when you lie down. The shortness of breath can start very subtly. At first, you might only notice it when you're exercising or carrying groceries, but over time, it can progress to where you feel breathless even while resting. It's so easy to blame these things on getting older or being out of shape, which is why it's a commonly overlooked symptom. But a persistent cough or progressive shortness of breath is your body's way of saying something is interfering with its most basic function. Breathing. Invisible itch. Imagine an intense, maddening itch that you just can't scratch away, and there's no rash or bite to explain it. This is one of the most frustrating and baffling symptoms of lymphoma. Affecting about 15% of patients, this itching can be so severe that it disrupts sleep and makes daily life miserable. It's different from normal skin irritation because there are often no visible marks on the skin. The itching can be all over the body or just in certain areas like the lower legs. What causes it? When your immune system responds to cancer cells, it releases chemicals called cytokines. These substances can irritate the nerve endings in your skin, triggering this intense itching sensation. Because there's no rash, it's often misdiagnosed or patients try endless over the counter creams without any relief. The itching often gets worse at night, adding to fatigue and distress. It's a classic example of a symptom that seems invisible but has a very real internal cause. Constant colds. Are you feeling like you just can't shake a cold or that you're catching every bug that goes around? When non Hodgkin lymphoma is present, your immune system is compromised, making you much more vulnerable to infections. Healthy people can fight off most common illnesses easily, but lymphoma patients may experience frequent, severe, or long lasting infections. This affects roughly a quarter of patients and is a direct result of your white blood cells, your body's primary defenders, not functioning as they should. Your body might start struggling with infections it would have easily handled before. A simple cold might drag on for weeks, or a minor cut could become seriously infected. You may also become susceptible to unusual infections rarely seen in people with strong immune systems. This pattern of recurrent illness often builds up slowly, so you might just attribute it to being run down. But if you notice you're getting sick far more often than you used to, it's a sign that your body's defense system is under attack and needs help. Mystery bruises. Have you noticed bruises appearing on your body but have no memory of bumping into anything? Or perhaps a tiny cut that seems to bleed for a long time? When lymphoma gets into the bone marrow, it can interfere with your body's ability to make platelets, the tiny cells responsible for helping your blood clot. About 20% of patients experience these signs. Without enough healthy platelets, you might bruise very easily or notice prolonged bleeding from minor injuries. You might see large, dark bruises from just a slight knock. Other signs can include frequent nosebleeds, bleeding gums when you brush your teeth, or tiny red or purple dots appearing on your skin, especially on your legs. These little spots are actually tiny areas of bleeding under the skin and are a sign of a very low platelet count. It's a clear signal that the cancer is affecting your body's most fundamental production lines in the bone marrow, and it's a symptom that demands immediate attention. Your path forward. These signs are not meant to cause fear, but to empower you. They are your body's own internal alarm system, sophisticated and designed to get your attention. While any one of these symptoms on its own is most likely caused by something less serious, it's the pattern and persistence that matter. When they show up together or a single sign lingers for more than a few weeks, it's time to listen. Trust your intuition. You know your body better than anyone else. Recognizing these whispers early can truly be the difference between a manageable journey and a much more difficult fight. Knowledge gives you the power to be your own health advocate and a guardian for the people you love. Share this with someone who needs it. Your awareness today could make all the difference tomorrow.